Welcome back to Fantasy Idiots. It's UFC Fight Night. Oh, I screwed it up. Redo it.
No,
I'm ready to go.
no. We're
What
gonna
do you
keep
mean?
going. We're powering through. I
All right, well,
refuse
let's
to
go.
stop.
UFC Fight Night, Singapore, my favorite part. This should be how it is every single week. Look, we sat there and we have been arguing. These fights are going too late. We can't stay up. And the UFC listened. They delivered. So in Central Time, I will be up at 3:58 a.m. on Saturday. These fights will be done by 10 a.m. That's the best possible scenario. I can't wait.
Well, you're lucky. I'm not too happy that it's this early, but give me like 9 a.m. I'd be happy a start time. Give me.
I mean, you're being
heck,
ridiculous here.
Even 6 a.m. I could manage. I can make it work. But I'm getting up at what 4 a.m. to watch these. 5 a.m. for me. I can't do it. I can't do it.
5 a.m. That's such a big deal. I'll be up at 3:58. Although I've seen some places that show that that starts at 3 a.m. Central. So whichever one it is concerning to me.
I'm seeing 5 a.m. Eastern on Tapology
All
right
right.
now. So
Then we're good. Let's get after it then.
all right, let's run this intro and get into it.
Let's do it.
All right, we're back, and I'm going to let you start talking because I'm going to turn off my fan because I'm sure it's making a noise.
I have a real problem here, and that problem is that at what point, what age do you get to where you no longer know how to bend a hat correctly? Look at this thing. I thought this was a good hat. It looks like hell. I mean, it's just I can't
What's
bend
that,
it right, you know?
Your UP hat?
My UP hat is it looks nice on the top, but do you see that bend? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Let's get to the fights. Let's get to the fights. Break them down.
Well, we're starting down at the bottom here. I don't know if this is the actual order that they're going to be running them in or not. I'm assuming it's going to be a little different this, but if it's not, we're going to start at the bottom here. We have Seungwoo Choi versus Aarons. Have you looked? First of all, I don't think either of us have done too much research on this card.
Would you expect any less from us?
No, we're idiots, dude. I'm going mostly off of just fights I've seen before. I haven't like watched their last 2 or 3 like I normally do. Going off memory. But Seungwoo Choi's coming off 3 losses in a row. Lost to Trezano, lost to Arosa, and I'm sorry, he did not lose. He beat Arosa. Lost to Kulabo and Alex Casares, who's also on this card. Not bad losses. I mean, Kuablo and Caceres have looked pretty good recently. Then you got Aarons, who is coming off a loss to Gomez on the last fight night in Paris. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
It's a real boring fight. Me personally, I'm leaning Seungwoo Choi in this match. I think a lot of my picks tonight are going to be this is happening in Asia. I'm picking the Asian fighter. I think that this is a huge time difference. You're going to see a lot of jet lag from some of these guys that are flying over, especially some of these guys on the lower part of the card who don't have the kind of money to be flying over 2 weeks earlier to get accustomed to the time change and to get over that jet lag ahead of time. You follow me?
I follow you.
So my first pick, Seungwoo Choi. I believe he's 8,800 on DraftKings. That's a little high for me.
Ooh, that's high. That's high, especially as a -1. They're showing -162 right now. That seems really high.
Well, he opened, looks like -200 here on Tapology, but I think he's too high for that price. I do think he wins
73% of the money is going on Choi, so that's interesting, isn't it? But that might follow along what you're saying.
Well, Tapology's got him at 76%, but of that 76%, 72 say by decision, so probably won't get you the points you need at 8,800.
Right, that's true. All right, I'm taking Choi. I got Choi as well. That's my feeling.
Based off of nothing.
Based off of the -162, based off of where the money is, based off of the fact that, it's a lot. I think what you said is absolutely correct, that travel does play a role in this one. I mean, it's halfway around the world.
So that brings us to our next one, which is girls match. We've got JJ Aldrich versus Na Liang. And I'm going to go completely opposite of what I just said. Na Liang is not that good, okay? And then you've got JJ Aldrich, who, she's okay. I don't think she's great, but she's got wins over Jillian Robertson, Demopoulos, who whatever, but she's got some decent wins, and I just don't think Na Liang's is that good. So even though she's the Asian
Well,
fighter here, I'm fading her. She has no gas tank, and I at least think J.J. Aldrich will be fighting till the end. But I think it's going to be I don't know. She could finish her, but how? Like she's got 2 wins by KO, no wins by submission. It's unless Na Liang completely just gasses out and gives up, it's probably going to decision again. And I think J.J. Aldrich is like 9,300 or 9,100 or something on DraftKings. Do you have it up?
well, minus 520 in terms of the actual number. She's got 79% of the money on her.
I mean, yeah, because so many people don't like this other girl. But look at this, Tapology's got 79% by decision. Like for the cost that she's gonna be, like I'm looking at her right now, she's 9,400. She's not gonna
Yeah, you
get
can't take her.
I mean, for 9,700 you can get Holloway. For 9,600 you can get Nakamura, or even Bedoya at 92. I'd rather take that. Like to me, that she's not worth the money, but I do think she wins. So we both taking J.J. Aldrich there.
That is correct.
All right. Moving up the card, this is one I went back and forth on. You've got Yusaku Kinoshita versus Billy Goff.
Mine's easy on this one, actually.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm going Kinoshita. I think that for multiple reasons, but again, I think it's a travel thing. I think it's also the fact that if you look, that seems to be what everyone's going for anyways. I just think the travel is the biggest one here. I will say this though. The money is on Billy Goff, 59%.
He opened
even though not the favorite.
What are the live odds right now? Do you have that open?
It's minus 135 is for Kinoshita and plus 114 for Billy Goff, but Goff's got 59% of the money. So obviously that's come in a big way for the bets plays.
Yeah, I mean, Tapology has Goff at 72%, mostly by KO. I've gone back and forth on this one. I've listened to some other people and what they have to say. I'm going Billy Goff. I want to go Kinoshita, but I'm going Billy Goff, and I just have a feeling he's 7,800 on DraftKings too. Like you're gonna have to take an underdog here somewhere, and I think Goff might be a good stab here. It's a close pick 'em, you know.
Sure. Yep.
So we'll see what happens. I'm going Goff. This is our first differ of the card, but you're going Kinoshita.
Correct. I've got it laid out for us on our picks here that we'll put up later because your picks, as we all know, not worth it.
Hashtag fade Bob. That's the new one going. But this is
that's
one
going everywhere.
I went back and forth on this one. Going in, I was going to take Kinoshita, but I just got a gut feeling. I'm taking Billy Goff. I do think he's going to get it done. Going up the card here, we've got Kanan Song versus Ronaldo Bedoya.
This one is an interesting one in terms of obviously Bedoya is a minus 298 live favor right now. 84% of the money is on Bedoya. But like if you're picking them on prize picks, I found it interesting. You got to have 104.5 is what they're doing for fantasy. That seems like high. I mean, to me, it just seems high. I don't know. But if they're also looking at it like plus 180 to KO is where we're at. But here's what's even crazier, plus 165 for decision. I do think Bedoya wins. If I was taking a money line, I'd for sure take Bedoya. But there was no way I could do it on prize picks to take the fantasy score. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. But I will take Bedoya to win this fight.
It is interesting because if you look, like Bedoya was famous for his match against Chaos Williams. He took on short notice, and I guess he looked all right. And Chaos Williams, pretty sure Chaos is from Detroit, but just like us. But I'm a big Chaos Williams fan, and he stood in there. He did lose by split decision, but he stood in there with him. But that was his first fight in the UFC. For your second fight in the UFC, they're flying you over to Singapore to fight an Asian fighter. Like I feel like they want to showcase their Asian fighters. That's the reason this is here. But I think this is a tough match. But the problem is, look at who Song has lost to. Okay? You got Ian Machado Gary. Gets finished in the third round. Although he did not look good in that fight. He had a moment or two, but he didn't look that great. Loses to Max Griffin in the first round. Alex Morono in the first round. Brad Riddell. Like, he's got losses to good guys. But then his wins are against people that I don't even know who they are. This is another one I'm going back and forth on. I know the money's on Bedoya, but Is he that good? I'm struggling with this one, dude. Everything tells me
I
to
don't know
take
why you're struggling.
because everything tells me to take Bedoya, and I feel like it's such a trap, and you can actually get a pretty good underdog here, but I gotta go Bedoya. I'm thinking back to that Ian Gary fight with Song, and he looked like he just wasn't putting in enough volume. I'll go Bedoya as well, but I don't like this fight. I'd actually stay away from it personally, but we'll see what happens.
All right, sounds good. Let's move on.
All right, next up we got Chidi Nikachuani. I can never say that name versus Michael Olenjacek.
That was pretty close what you got there. This one, okay, here's what we're running, right? So Nick at minus 105 and then minus 115. I'm not even going to try to say his name. But Nick is at 52% of the money's on Cheaty and 48% the other way. So this is the true definition of a pick 'em.
Not to mention,
Yeah,
Chidi did open as the underdog, it looks like. So money did come in
okay,
on
all
him to
right.
bring him to favorite.
I think we're going to differ on this one. I am going to go with Michael to win this fight.
Wow.
Olek, I think.
So that's what I was thinking originally, and the more I was thinking about it, looking at it, I did switch my pick to Chidi. I think
There was something about Cheaty's fight last time that made me question him. And I'm trying to remember exactly what it was.
It was against Durev. Like, he didn't, I don't know. So, yeah, he looked like something was off. He didn't look right, but I don't know. Before that, Gregory Rodriguez, like, what a fight. And it should have been stopped. That cut on his forehead was horrible. He should have won that fight. They should have stopped it, but, he comes out and, gets destroyed after that. He's got a win over Marc-Andre Barriute.
That's what it was. No, that Durev fight is what killed it for me. I mean, he had a decision in it. He only landed 40 significant strikes. It just was terrible all the way around.
I think he was getting controlled quite a bit on the ground. I think he was getting taken down, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he was so like it just to me with Olek, this is a guy who can take him down.
He could, but I don't think he will. I think he's gonna stand with him, and I think if you're Cheaty, like, we know you can strike. You better have been working on your wrestling this whole time. How long ago was that fight? It was only 4 months ago that he lost.
That's what I mean. Cheaty. He probably hasn't been working that much.
Listen, I'm going Cheaty. I don't think Olenjacek has the same wrestling pedigree as Durev, and I think they'll keep it standing. Tapology's 54% Olenjacek. And
that does not shock me at all because fade Bob.
You can fade Bob all you want this week. This is a close fight. I'm thinking if you're on DraftKings, you need one of these two guys because they're right at the 8,000, 8,200 range. Like, you're going to have to pick one of them. And I also think up the card, you're going to have to go with either Anthony Smith or Ryan Spann because they're right at that mid-range level of price. You're going to have to probably flip-flop around these two fights in order to pick a winner here. So we're differing again, huh?
Yeah, we are, but it's shocking that it's 2 so far. If you recall, you got 4 wrong last week.
Well, no more than 2.
We're halfway.
Yet. All right, moving up the card. This is one I also flip-flopped around on. We have Toshiomi Kazama versus Garrett Armfield.
This is another one that's real close. Kazama's at plus 136. Armfield is at minus 162. 52% of the money is on Armfield, 48% on Kazama. So again, it's like, I mean, that's basically a pick 'em. Like, it's so freaking close on this one. I think in this one, you have to go with Kazama because of what we talked about initially. They're trying to showcase. I think this is one you could kind of get caught on thinking, oh, he's minus 162. That's what I'm going to take. I'm going Kazama on this one.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm also going Kazama. Although Tapology disagrees, going 66% Armfield. I agree with you. They want to showcase the Japanese fighter here. But here's the thing, like, what you've got, he fought Nakamura, who, okay, you're expected to lose that fight, right? He's real good. And you got Armfield over here who lost to David Onama. So this is going to be a test of, like, who actually belongs in the UFC, I think, because they both have good losses. But I'm favoring the non-jet-lagged fighter. I'm favoring the guy who's fighting amongst, his region and everything. So we're both going Kazama there. And what's Kazama at on DraftKings? Wow, 7,500. So that's not a bad play if you're favoring him in that match.
I agree.
Up the card, we're going Waldo Cortez Acosta. And
This guy drives
wrestling,
me crazy.
I'm right with you. I'm with you, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I think you have to take him here. He's minus 230, 88% of the money on him. I guarantee if we look at, I think I looked earlier, Tapology, it's a massive KO is what they're looking at. But I forget who he fought last time. I'm gonna look it up here, but he was just terrible. Like he just could not put him away. And it drove me crazy the whole time. It was, it was DeLima. It was DeLima. So it's even worse that it was DeLima, considering how he just fought. We're talking about this, and I'm going to pick the guy anyway. But he just, to me, they're trying to make him a superstar, and I just don't see it happening. I don't think that's who he is.
Well,
but I am going to pick this fight.
I'm with you, but here we go again. This is two guys that, like, where do they stand in the heavyweight ranking? Because I feel like heavyweight goes, you're either garbage and you're just there for people to beat up, you're mediocre and you're either you're a gatekeeper, or you're the very top, and that's it. And if you look at who these guys are, like, you've got Bresky, who's lost to Carl Williams and Boudet. Okay, they're okay, I guess. Actually, I don't know about Carl Williams, but Boudet's, like, he's not bad. And what's Carl Williams? I gotta check. Yeah, 9-1. Carl Williams is looking good, right? Yeah, but look who Cortez is beating. Okay, Cortez beats Chase Sherman. He beats Vandera, and he beats someone on Contender Series. Not good wins. Neither of these guys have good wins. I mean, Bresky has no wins in the UFC. I think Acosta lays on him, and I see him just little pot shots and taking it to decision.
Sounds good to me.
All right, moving up the card, Junior Tafa and Parker Porter.
Why is this fight so close? This surprises me. It's minus 142 to Tafa, plus 120 for Porter. 73% of the money's on Tafa, but to me, it's Tafa all the way. I do not understand. Parker Porter sucks. I mean, right? Am I wrong in saying that?
I mean, I don't think he sucks. He's also 38 years old, and I know you can go a little longer at heavyweight at that age, but I mean, there's a clear.
He's 7,600 on DraftKings.
Excuse me. There's a clear path to victory for Parker. He's got to take him down. I don't think.
Am I wrong in stating has he fought Tafa before?
No,
because it looks there's a Tafa.
No, that's his brother. That's another thing to look at. He's already fought Junior Tafa's brother, and did lose to.
And
him,
who's
right?
better?
Yeah.
He didn't just lose. He got KO'd in the first round.
At this stage, you have to say Justin, because I don't think Junior has the experience. He has the kickboxing experience, but not the MMA experience. He's only 4-1. Although what's Justin 5-3. So I don't know who's better, but if it stays standing, it's Tafa all day. It's not even close. But I don't know, like Parker Porter.
I'm taking Tafa.
I have to take Tafa as well. Like, can Parker Porter take him down? Maybe. Is he going to keep
I
him?
really hope not. It's going to kill so many of my bets.
Keep him down? I don't think so. The only thing is that, like, I was watching Tafa versus Usman, and I took Tafa in that fight because I am fading Usman every single time he fights. I don't think he's good. Okay, I just don't. And
talking about his brother, right?
I'm talking about Muhammad Usman. I don't think he's that great. Okay, Kamaru Usman's good, but although I don't know if he's all there anymore. I got to see when he comes back next if he's all there. But if you can take down Tafa, you can beat him. I don't think Parker Porter can do it and keep him down. Hopefully Tafa's been working on that wrestling because we know the striking's there. I'm taking Tafa, and I'm taking him to finish Parker Porter.
Same deal. All right, here's what I got. Next up, Blanchfield and Santos.
All right.
I want to talk about this fight in the worst way. This, I believe, will be the final fight for a shot at a significant amount of dollars for me on a free pick. And I picked Blanchfield because the last time I saw Blanchfield fight, last two times, I said, this is a star. This is a star in the making. And then you have come back and destroyed my hopes and dreams by thinking that maybe this could be a tough one. I'm picking Blanchfield all day long on this. I think she is a superstar. I think she is significantly better than even you are giving her credit for. And I think the UFC loves her too. I absolutely think they want to see her in a championship fight in the future.
I agree, but we need to look at strength of competition here. You got Blanchfield, who beat Jessica Andrade. Andrade has looked horrible since then.
We should also look at this. 75% of the money's on Blanchfield.
Okay.
That's surprising.
She beats Molly McCann. Okay, she should. She's a grappler. She should beat Molly McCann. She beats J.J. Aldrich. All right, J.J. Aldrich is J.J. Aldrich, right? She beats Miranda Maverick. Miranda Maverick's been a little suspect here and there. So, like, not great wins. They're okay. The Andrade win is good, regardless of how she's looked lately. Like, beating Jessica Andrade is a good win, especially in the way she did it. You look over at Santos, split decision to Shevchenko, like, okay. You know, wins over Wood, like, Roxanne, like, she was on her way out. Wins over Jillian Robertson, like, okay. Molly McCann, same thing. She went to decision with Molly McCann. I think you're right. I think the UFC is definitely wanting to showcase Erin Blanchfield here.
It does make you wonder though why they were like, we're going to showcase her and make her go to Singapore.
Well, not just that, but like this should be higher up on the card. This shouldn't. I think it's on the prelims.
No, it's main card.
It's on the main card. This should probably be the co-main event. I think this is better than Span Smith. I would argue actually Giga and Bruce Leroy should be above that as well. I'm not a big fan of this Anthony Smith-Ryan Span fight. But I'm going Blanchfield. I did go back and forth on this, but I think Blanchfield gets it, and I just think that she's just going to be a better wrestler, and she's improving so much every day. She's only 24 years old, and she's looking to rise to the top quickly.
All right, sounds good. We're on the same page then, because the next one I think we are too.
I'm not even going to waste any time talking about this. It's Nakamura. We don't need to waste any time.
The only time I would waste is I think it's worth saying that like if you're on Prize Picks for fantasy right now, it's 118.5 for Nakamura. Do you think that hits?
The only reason I could say it does is even though this guy's striking like a madman, like road to UFC, he wins, first round knockout, first round key lock, then a first round knockout, then in his first fight night he gets a first round knockout. So, what was the total?
It was 118.5.
Man, see, it's scary because like 118, like if you're going out and starching someone, you're not covering 118. If you go out there and 2 punches, you knock them out, you're getting 112, like plus 2 punches, so like 113 or something, and you're not covering.
It's tough.
Well, you got to look. So you got to look at who he's fighting, right? Guy is 4-1 in the LFA, 0-2 in the UFC. He's never been finished, but
listen, this says it all. Nakamura is minus 165 to KO. He's plus 400 for decision and plus 350 for sub. Yeah, I mean, we don't need to talk about it anymore. Well, I just don't know if he's going to cover it.
We don't even know if he's going to cover it. I think he is going to cover it. I think that the losses that that Garcia has are to like subpar UFC fighters too. I think he's going to get starched. Sure. I think it's stupid he agreed to this fight. This could be this is the fight you're taking because you're 0-2 in the UFC, and maybe like go lose this one and we'll give you one more shot. But he's going to probably be cut after this, and that's that. I wouldn't have taken this fight, but he may have had no other choice. So both going Nakamura. Yeah. He is very expensive on DraftKings. He's 9,600, but with that wrestling background, that KO power, he's probably going to get you first round finish, but man, that's expensive. I don't know. Next up, we have Giga coming back versus Bruce Leroy.
I'm taking Giga.
So
Giga on this one. 76% of the money on Giga, minus 238.
Yeah, Tapology.
But it's very close on Tapology, isn't it?
No, it's not. 77% Giga. They think mostly by decision. And I would tend to agree, and that's why I would stay away from Giga on my DraftKings teams, because I think he does win, but it's only 3 rounds, and I think it goes to decision. So
it's plus 275 on KO.
Yeah, what's Giga by decision?
Plus 100.
So realistically, that's even
Not-
what they think's going to happen. I think Giga probably outpaces him. I think this is closer than than um than the odds will indicate. And even like on DraftKings, I'd take a stab on Alex Caceres because you're looking at Giga at what 9,000. Like I don't think he's going to get you the points you need at 9,000. But like if Caceres can pull something off, he's 7,200. You know, he could, because another thing to think about is Giga hasn't fought in a year and a half. He's been off a year and a half since his whooping by Calvin Kattar. Okay, before that,
Sure.
good wins over Barboza, Cub Swanson, and aging Omar Morales, whatever. But Giga should win. If you're making a couple teams, make one with Caceres. This is closer than people think. It's definitely going to go the distance. If Caceres can somehow get on top of him or something, who knows? But I'm going Giga as well. But like I said, don't be afraid to take a shot on Caceres.
All right. Got another big one next to Anthony Smith and Ryan Spann. And I did not realize how close this was in the betting world. They've got it running minus 130 for Spann. 67% of the money is on Spann. So that makes me feel a little bit better. But I did not realize how close it was going to be. They have Spann plus 175 to KO and plus 1,200 for decision. I don't think they think it's going to decision.
I don't either. Something to think about is 1 year and 10 months ago, they did fight, and Anthony Smith submitted Ryan Spann. But
I asked you about this pick earlier for a big pick, and you were all in on Spann.
You're not listening. You don't hear me out. I'm sorry that you fade Bob, but let me tell you something. Ryan Spann's going to win this fight, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Anthony Smith has checked out. He's got his cushy sports desk job. In his last two matches against Johnny Walker and Ankalaev, he looked like he didn't want to be there. He looked like he didn't want to fight. Okay?
Okay.
I think
he needs 75.5 on Prize Picks.
Okay, but that's the other scary thing about Ryan Spann is like he's going out there to get a first-round finish or he's going out there to get knocked out. I don't think Anthony Smith knocks him out, right? So
plus 365 or plus 650 to knock out is what they say for Anthony Smith.
So what real danger are you in that he's going to take him down again? The only fear I have is that Krylov did just that, and but Krylov looks sharp and good, and he's hungry, right? I don't think Anthony Smith is hungry anymore. I could be completely wrong. I usually am, but I'm going Ryan Spann. What are you feeling?
Yep, I agree. I'm all in. I already did it. I got enough picks in on it. I had to take it. I also think he's going to cover that 75.5. So, especially if he's going to have first round finish.
If he wins, he's going to cover it. There's no way it's going to be that boring. And if he gets laid on top of or something, then he lost the fight. Okay, next up, this fight shouldn't be happening. I'm sad that it's happening.
Why are you sad?
It's a travesty. You shouldn't be doing this.
What are you talking about? It's travesty for who?
For the Korean Zombie. You shouldn't be doing this to the man.
Why? He has no chance?
Listen. The Zombie of a few years ago had a chance. Since then, man, I can't watch him anymore. It's sad out there. I can't watch him. He's not the same. He's 36 years old. He should still be in his prime, but he's taken too much damage. He's been in so many brawls. And then you're sending him out there against Max Holloway, who I think, was it the most significant strikes in UFC history?
In history, by far.
A mile. And you're putting him in there to get pop-shotted against all night long. The Korean Zombie's going to be a punching bag.
He is literally, he's only $6,500. I mean, if he pulls it off and you got him, you win.
Well, yeah, but there's a reason he's 6,500 on DraftKings, and there's a reason that Max Holloway is 9,700. Is that Max Holloway doesn't lose to people named Alex Volkanovski in the past 3 years, 4 years.
You mean not named him? Yeah. No, I agree.
You follow me. But
I know.
Look, the last time Max Holloway lost to someone that wasn't named Alex Volkanovski was in 2019. Now, given
All right. Well, let's ask this question then. Okay. Yeah. So obviously, we both say that Holloway's going to win. He's going to dominate. Yeah. He's going to beat him up, right? Mm-hmm. What's next for Holloway after this win? Does he get a title shot again?
If I'm Max Holloway, I'm leaving the division because there's nothing for you here. You've lost 3 times to Alec Volkanovski. Well, the first 2 were close. The third one wasn't close.
So we're dropping Holloway down to face O'Malley?
He couldn't. I don't think he could make 135. But that'd be a fun fight, O'Malley versus Holloway.
Absolutely, it would be.
If I'm Max Holloway and I don't want to go up to 155 and chase a belt, I'm looking for fun fights, either at 45 or 55. So, I'm calling out Dustin Poirier again. I want to fight Justin Gaethje for the BMF. I want to, I want O'Malley to move up and fight me at 145. Those are fun fights, right?
O'Malley fight him though. O'Malley's going to move up and potentially fight Volkanovski for a double. That's the only one I could see.
No, he's not.
He's already talking about it, bro.
He can talk all he wants. That'd be the dumbest thing he could ever do.
I agree he would lose, but I think let's not play this game again where you underestimate my man O'Malley. If you recall, I am a big O'Malley fan. Look at last week's show where I didn't pick him.
Put that fedora back on, dude, because the bottom line is that, Volk's a different animal. Although, the rumor is he's going to be on the UFC game cover, and there's a little bit of a curse that goes with that. Is that
that curse goes with everything.
Well, I'm just saying. So if he's on
what is this show? Is this show just become us, randomly spouting off little headlines we've seen on Twitter? It feels like that's what it's become because I just get fed this information. I saw the same article. I didn't read it.
It's on the internet.
I hate it. I hate that line.
Right,
I will say this.
What?
Holloway wins this. We have literally only disagreed on 2, which is Goff and Cheaty, that you've picked over me. That's fine. But I actually, as much as this card is goofy, I'm so excited that it's so early. I'm an insane person for saying it, but I have truly loved having a Tuesday fight, a Wednesday fight. And actually, I was just sitting here going, kind of sucks that I got no Friday fight this week. I got so used to having PFL on Friday nights. I'm not sure I would have traded it for a Wednesday night, but hey,
is there boxing this Friday, or what day is that on?
I'm watching boxing. Who knows how they're going to pick the win?
It's a good, no doubt.
Well, wait, we don't have that Logan Paul fight, do we? That's not coming up. It feels like it is.
It's actually this Saturday is also the boxing match. Usyk and Dubos. I don't watch boxing either, but
when's the Dylan Dennis boxing?
Do I really have to look through for this? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's got to be coming.
Couldn't even bother.
It's not.
That's what I thought it was this weekend.
It's not showing up on Tapology. It has to be this weekend. But real quick, let's talk about next week. Or is it next week, or are they skipping a week? Okay, so September 2nd
that's next week.
Is the fight card in Paris. There's a couple good ones on here, but overall,
well, I know you're a big Cyril Gane fan.
I am not a big Cyril Gane fan, but I'm also not a Sergey Spivak fan. I think Gane probably wins that fight, and I'm not a big Gane fan, but I'll take it.
It's not a thing. Hey, let's not be dumb here. We're both looking forward to only seeing Rose Namajunas come back. That's the fight I'm looking forward to.
I mean, as long as she goes out and actually fights, and it's not like that Carl Esparza fight. But other than that, dude, I mean, I'm excited to see Saint Denis. I'm excited for his match against Thiago Moises.
It's Saint Denis, you uncultured animal.
Well, yeah, what can I say, dude? I don't know. But other than that, this card is weak. It's so
no. Basharat's going to be good. You're looking forward to Basharat, aren't you?
I mean, okay, yeah. Is that the Snow Leopard Basharat? No, this is ferocious Basharat. This is the one that hasn't lost, right? Yeah, beat Blackshear.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple good fighters on the card. You got Basharat. You got who else am I excited for here? Not really Ozdemir. He's over the hill a little bit. This Saint Denis and Thiago Moises fight should be good. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for seeing Rose again. So, I mean, 3 fights. There's 3 fights on here I'd check out, but it's not great. But I'm sure you'll love that it starts at 11 o'clock Central, 12 o'clock Eastern for me here. So that'll be
I mean, that's dumb. It should be 9 a.m., but that's fine.
Yeah, and then after that, we do have UFC 293 coming up, which this is maybe one of the worst pay-per-views I've ever seen.
I think you're going to get surprised.
Well, a lot of the times I'll look at fight nights and I'm looking at the car like this is shit, and then I look at it and it ends up being finish after finish.
Now we can't say this is made for kids. You really ruined the show. We can't say it's made for kids.
Well, Oh well.
We just lost at least 18 views.
I'm excited for the Israel Strickland fight, even though I think Israel's going to win. I'm excited to see Ty back out
You
there.
use any chance that Strickland wins?
No, I just don't see how.
I think he could. I think there's a shot.
I just
I think it's
how.
I don't know. I think that
is he
if
gonna
they're
outstrike Izzy?
I think it's
Oh,
possible.
get out of here, dude! He's not gonna outstrike.
Strickland's a maniac, dude. He's a maniac. If he goes all in, his cardio's okay. He'll be fine. It's gonna be great,
bro. Listen, he's gonna march forward like he always does. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's gonna get kicked and kicked and kicked.
Unless he takes him down. That's something we got to think about.
He's not going to take him down, dude. You underestimate it. Like, Israel Adesanya's takedown defense is actually pretty good. Okay?
Yeah, all right, fine. Move on. I'll tell you this. I'm excited just to see Ty. I love having Ty back in there. He's such a fun fighter. You got Tyson Pedro. You got Tafa, the brother that you say is better. You got Cape. I mean, we got some decent fights in here.
But the thing is that, like, I don't care about seeing Justin.
I know you're looking forward to seeing Jamie Malarkey.
I actually like Jamie Malarkey, but that should
be. Well, then calm down.
I'm just saying this card needs to be flipped around. There's fights on the main card that shouldn't be on the main card. I would move Olberg up with Daun Jung. That should be on there, and I'd move Jamie Malarkey up there, and then heck, even Hasparat. Like, I'd be more excited to see him. Like, that it's just some bad fights on that card. But once again, we've gotten off topic. I just wanted to talk about a few of the upcoming fights. We also promised we would do a Contender Series show. You promised, didn't happen. You said we would you said we would do a PFL show after, didn't happen. And I said it right as you said, "Oh, dude, we gotta do a show tomorrow." I said, "Sure, Dan. I'm sure that will happen." What happened, Dan?
We're doing a show now. It's all good. Our consistent one.
No more promises.
Moving forward. No, moving forward, we're coming out with shows every Tuesday, right? That's what we agreed to.
Was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. Because
Tuesday's
Dana White, so we're not gonna do it on Dana White
that's
night.
correct.
So it's gonna be Wednesday night. We're gonna start doing the show.
It's gonna be Wednesday night,
like clockwork. So that's all I got, Dan. Anything else?
We got one more thing to say, which is that coming up next week, we're going to start talking about football when it comes to fantasy, because you got college. College starts this weekend, but it's only a few games, so we'll really hit it next week. And then obviously we'll get into the NFL as well. So the show will, as you see in our amazing graphic intro, isn't just about MMA. It's just that's all we care about right now. So now that we're headed back into football season, it's going to be a wild up in here.
It's the only thing going on right now. We're we're both from Detroit originally, and the Tigers suck, so we don't really want to talk about baseball. And since nothing else is going on, this is all we have. But UFC year round, and then we'll dabble in football, maybe a little hockey here and there, some basketball, I'm sure for bets and stuff on Prize Picks and things like that. But that's all I got, Dan. See you next week. Talk to you later.
Although I do want to just say a nice thank you to the fine folks at Prize Picks who continue to deliver free picks. I'm a big fan of Prize Picks.
Well, we'll be bigger fans if they sponsor the show. So, and see you next week, Dan.
That's what we're trying for.
Yeah,
bye.